One of the problems with recruiting for investment banking is not the knowledge or skills you acquire, but the access to talk with real investment bankers to put your best foot forward. Our sponsor, WSO Academy, can provide those connections with 60 head mentors who are finance professionals at top firms like Goldman, Centerview, and JP Morgan. Imagine being able to get on the phone within 24 hours with one of the Academy's 1,300 mentors right before a critical interview. Get on the waitlist for WSO Academy today by clicking the link in the show notes or by visiting wallstreetoasis.com/academy. All right. Welcome to Investment Banking Insights. This is the only show dedicated to helping you learn both the technical and the non-technical aspects of the investment banking process. My name is Alex Mason, and I am your host. Thank you so much for joining me today, taking just a few minutes out of your busy schedule to learn with me, to grow with me, to think through these things with me. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you're having a great time too. And, we're talking about behaviorals here on the podcast, those questions in an interview that you're likely to get that really cover your story, your choices, your decisions, your behaviors, very important things that indicate the type of person that you are and also indicate how you can communicate who you are to others. So very important domain of questions that we're covering here. And today's question is this: why did you choose your major? Why did you choose your major in college, basically? And the thing is, you may or may not have majored in something finance related. And whatever it is, that's okay. There's many paths to becoming an investment banker. But I do want to talk through for a minute or two the things that I think about when this question comes up and how I might approach this. So first of all, if you did choose finance or just general business as your major, which is, I think, the most popular undergraduate major in the United States, if I'm not mistaken, if you chose one of those two majors, think about your motivations for doing so. I mean, don't say something like, well, I didn't really know what else to major in, so I chose business. No. Although that may be the truth to a certain extent in your case, depending on your situation, that's not a great thing to say because it shows this lack of clarity. It shows that maybe you just didn't have a certain maturity level at a certain point in time. And you know what? It's okay. But in terms of communicating these things in an interview context, that's not the best thing to bring up. And so you could say something like this. You could say, well, I've always been curious about the markets since I was young, and I just wanted to learn more. Or here's another example. You could say, well, I worked part-time at XYZ business when I was in high school, and I learned a lot about that business, but I always wanted to learn more about how the operations worked. Or something like that. Show some kind of experience that was formative for you that made you want to learn more. And you can think about your story. What actually made you want to become an investment banker in the first place, or got you interested in whatever you're doing? I know that there's some folks who listen to this show who are, they're shooting for private equity or shooting for some other tangentially related field. What was the spark that made you have that aha moment that said, yes, I want to do this? And how can you link that to your academic experience? That's really, I think, what this question is about. Now, for those of us, myself included, who chose to major in something that wasn't anything related to finance or anything related to the business realm, there had to be some motivation behind that decision. For example, let's say you chose the liberal arts and you chose to study Spanish. You could talk about your passion for languages. You could talk about how you love connecting cultures together. And then you could tie this in with investment banking by describing how your ability to communicate well across cultures would lend itself well to working with international clients, for example. That's just one example that I have for you. But the point is to find the connection. Find the connection between the decision that you made and the field you're going into, investment banking. And it really depends on your strengths. So, for example, I'll just share some of my own experience. Some of you who have already connected with me on LinkedIn probably already know this looking at my profile, but I have 2 engineering degrees. And the reason is I really love engineering and science. That's what I always wanted since I was a kid, was to be an engineer. And so now I'm thinking, as I transition to investment banking, about working in an industrials group or a TMT group, which, if you don't know what that means, that stands for technology, media, and telecom. And that's because I can apply my passion for wanting to know how the world works to serving clients who run businesses in these areas. So you see the connection there in my case? I chose these majors because I was passionate about something completely unrelated to investment banking, but really it's not that unrelated because the entire economy is connected in some way or another. So I just found that connection and then I elaborated on it. I emphasized it in my answer. And that's kind of how you connect your past to your present to your future when answering these behaviorals. All right, that's what I got for you today here on Investment Banking Insights. Just having fun with you. Hope you're having a great day. I really appreciate the reviews, the ratings, the messages, and I'll see you next time. Take care.